It's up.
Huh?
Football fans, the Cricket Celebration Bowl is celebrating 10 years of crowning an HBCU national champion. A champion will rise at Mercedes-Benz Stadium on December 13th as the MEAC and SWAC champions clash in Atlanta. Join us for championship football, interactive fan experiences, and iconic marching bands. It's an HBCU family reunion that you don't want to miss. See who will be crowned the next HBCU national champion. For event and ticket information, visit thecelebrationbowl.com.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU.
With over 25 years of serving our communities, Destiny Financial Services, a division of Global Life, is here to help you and your family through difficult times. From cancer care to accidental industries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life, but you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call DFS at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at www.globelifeinsurance.com. That is 877-300-8269, or again, the website at www.globelifeinsurance.com.
ESPN Events presents Red Lobster Band of the Year, a title reserved for elite HBCU marching bands. A season-long competition that culminates in Atlanta on Friday, December 12th. Drum majors, percussion, drill, auxiliaries, musicality. All aspects will be examined by the toughest judges in the world of college bands. 4 will qualify for the big stage, where national champions will be crowned. Follow us on social media for rankings updates throughout the season. And join us in Atlanta on December 12th. For event and ticket information, visit bandoftheyear.com.
I love Atlanta, a city in the forest. Hi, I'm Jeff Cleveland, seasoned loan officer in the Atlanta market. And whether you're buying a new home, refinancing to do debt consolidation, home improvements, or just to lower your payments, give me a call. I'll ensure that you're treated with dignity and respect, that you're informed throughout the process, and that there are no surprises at closing. Give me a call and let's get started.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy 2026. This is DVP. This is Random Thoughts with DVP. It is January the 7th, 2026. So we are a whole week into the new year, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And welcome to Random Thoughts with DVP. We're gonna have a couple of guests on the show. We might cause a little drama, but we're gonna try to be cool the first week of the show because we got a guest. So hopefully our guest will make us act right. But since he one of Mark friends, it's kind of hard to tell. So we're going to start off with this. In 2026, I know we're going to say something about resolutions, but how about this? In 2026, can we manage to mind our own business, stop worrying about other people do if it don't affect you or your payroll? Can we start picking, can we stop complaining about what we can't have? Whether it's because you broke, whether it's because it's above your pay grade, whether because it's out of your league, whatever it is, let it go. Fellas, if she want to do it, it's going to pay $150 for her toes and feet or whatever. If you can't do it, you don't want to do it, why trip about it? Just keep moving on. Ladies, If he don't want to do all this stuff for you that you think you need and require, just say no and keep moving on. I hate to go back to Nancy Reagan because I wasn't a fan, but we're going to have to adopt a just say no program for 2026. Everything ain't for you. Everything ain't for you. And whether you want to admit it or not, or if you need to elevate yourself, ain't nothing above you. Well, then just say some stuff is beneath you then. But ain't no need to keep this, ain't no need to go in 2026 complaining about who don't want you or who you can't get. Just accept everything ain't for everybody. See, as much as I like this show, it ain't for everybody. It's okay. I like my co-host, but guess what? We don't always get along. It's life, but I don't need to complain about it. Stop being a victim. Own your shit. Whatever it is, good, bad, or different, because guess what? At the end of the day, sometimes we all ain't shit. Hey, and we ain't gonna never be everybody's choice. So in 2026, we doing all this whining and complaining about whatever. Have you a frosted mug, but shut the fuck up and move on. That's all I'm saying. All right. So with that being said, let me bring Mo on first, because we're gonna see how he act in 2026. Is he gonna embrace his role as mediator, moderator, and peacekeeper? Or is he going to start out 2026 like he ended 2025? So, Mo, welcome to the show. What you going to do, brother? What you going to do?
Look, 7 days in, you already kicking up dust, man.
What?
It's 7 days into 2026, man. And you coming out here with the fireside. You on the fireside right now.
Hey, man, that was my thing for last year. I'm consistent.
You came in saying drink a frosty mug and all. Listen, man.
It's not my job, but that's your job. I'm not trying to take nobody else's job. That's your job to keep us focused, brother. That's your job.
That's what I'm recruited to do. All right, man.
Yeah, you didn't read the fine print?
That's why I'm talking to you right now, man. Why you got to come in like that?
Okay, no. It's too late for me. You got to try with Markley Joe. So let me get Mark, because we got a guest. I don't know how much time he got, so I want to make sure I get him in here. Let me get Mark on here right quick, because Mark looked like he's stationary, so that means he ain't starting y'all stealing calls. So, hey, brother, it's always a good thing when you stable. The clock ain't changed yet, Mark. It had the same time all of last year. Can we get some batteries in that clock this year?
No. What we change? Hey, that clock, man, you see what the time it say?
Yeah, it say sometime. It say never ever.
No.
Oh my God, you came in on fire, man.
I'm just saying. Hey. I think it's at 5:15 so he can wake up and have a drink. See, look at him drink.
5 o'clock all the time. 5 o'clock all the time.
Well,
I think y'all be trying to run y'all life by a clock. I don't. I just look at it and be like, oh, it's 5 o'clock.
I might as well steal a car. All right, so Mark,
Happy New Year to y'all, gentlemen.
Happy New Year, man. Happy New Year.
What's up, Juan? That's right. Just say no. Just say no. That's all. So, Mark, you gonna introduce your guest? Or you gonna let him introduce himself?
Yeah.
That was a 2-part question. See,
I'm gonna introduce him from what I know of. Great guy.
See, Mo, that's why I can't do it. I tried, and Mark just won't.
I'm
fire today.
Go ahead, ask the question again. I was excited.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Bojack, raise your hand if you're ready, because Mark drinking.
What was the question? I was excited.
Ain't about to Bojack, can you hear me?
Woo. Oh my goodness.
Raise your hand if you can hear me, Bojack.
Wow.
Bojack got me blocked. I'm gonna bring him to the stage anyway.
You can't see him in the
He got his mute on. He got mute on.
Let me see if I can. But he's still sitting baby.
Yeah.
You muted.
Bojack.
You muted, good brother. Hey, hit him in the comments or something.
Bojack.
I should.
You got your mute on.
Now.
You mute.
There you go. What's up, Bojack?
Hello?
What's going on, man?
What up, Bo?
Some reason I ain't got no volume.
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah, we were talking bad about you because you weren't responding to me. I'm like, man, he just came to the show and he gonna ignore me. You don't even know me well enough to ignore me like that yet. You got to be knowing me at least 3 shows to ignore me. So what's going on with you? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I
What
ain't
you
got no
going on.
volume. Hold on.
No, you good,
You're
bro.
in the show. Everyone can see you and
We
hear
can hear
you.
you. You good, man. Maybe he can't hear
I
us.
don't think he can hear us.
Okay, let me tell my can't hear that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
He
he said he
reset.
can't hear us.
See,
All
that's
right.
how you reset.
All right, Mark, you may need to call him and tell him we can hear him. But what?
Okay.
All right, we're going. Bojack, can you hear us now?
Nope.
Hold on one second. Let me text him.
And here come trouble.
I can
Bojack,
hear it now.
Lord.
All right.
You can hear us now.
Hold on, Bojack. I gotta bring one more co-host in before you start telling us who you are.
Okay, that's perfect.
All right, we got Joe Mo in here now. So Mo, your job is really cut out for you now because you got Joe Mo and Mark. So 2026, we're gonna try we're gonna try to get along for at least 26 minutes of the show. Maybe not a whole straight 26 minutes, but 26 minutes in totality.
What's up, Joe Mo? How you doing, good brother?
Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
All right. So don't come in here trying to steal nobody, Robert. Don't come in here trying to steal. What's up with you, brother? All right, so Bo, tell us what you got going on for 2026.
Hey, what's up, Bojack? We got this community outreach center on Simpson, Joe's B. Boone, Northwest Atlanta. For 26, we got a full slate. For 25, we ended 25 on a bang. I kicked off a Safe 60 in October, and we did 8 straight weeks of going to different various rough parts of Atlanta, preaching gangs and guns and community unity. We went to Allen Temple. We've been to Flipper Temple, Etheridge, Dixie Hills. We was in Vine City. We was in Pittsburgh, and we was on the blocks, educating the youth about guns and gangs. For 26, we got a whole slate coming out for 26. We're gonna reboot Safe 60 2.0. We got a lot of enrichment classes that we about to empower out the building. Behavior mentorship classes with the youth from 8 to 18 males and females. We got a Let's Talk Wednesday, males 19 to 40. So we're going to open up a panel and open up for males. You know, it's various subjects. We're going to touch it. And that's how we're going to start the year. We got a Bankhead the Buckhead event. Paul Kids, Trinity Church, Westside Baptist. They got me in on that. So they got a Bankhead the Buckhead on King Memorial Day, the 19th. It's a big event going on. So they're just starting out the year. We're starting out the year with how we ended the year kind of fast.
Okay. How do we get involved with this event?
I can send the links. I can send the links out to the Bankhead the Buckhead on the 19th. For the Let's Talk Wednesday, you can reach out because we need all the black males to be engaged. We're going to do it out of 2097 Joseph B. Boone. We're doing it on Wednesdays from 6:30 to 8. And we're inviting all the black males. So we're going from 19 to 40. Why that age, I would ask, because doing my Safe 60 stops, I had a lot of parents was coming to me and they was like, hey, can you help my son? And they was like 25, 31, 33. Wow. So I ran into a lot of parents of kids that age that kids need mentoring. You know, they need males in their life to learn how to be males in this society. So
okay.
Yep.
So yeah, if you can, either shoot Mark a link or put one in. If you can see the chat, put it in our chat so I can put it up on the page. So
Okay.
I can tell people how to get involved with it.
Yeah, we need all the involvement.
That's a good thing. Okay, Bo, that's a good thing. But tell us the name of your program and what made you get started.
Okay, let me step out this room. I came at another event. I just stepped in the room. So the name of my building, we named it Grandmama's House. Oh. And why we named it Grandmama's House? Because the grandmamas in Atlanta when I was growing up kept kept community being a community. I think at this point, our youth needing stability. We missing stability. We missing a place to go to. We missing prayer, and we just missing stability, and we missing love. And those grandmamas are gone in Atlanta. The projects closed, right? And the projects weren't a bad thing now that I look back at it, because what it did, it created stability. One alarming statistic that I have ran into that I didn't know, I wasn't aware of, that homelessness around youth amongst the city of Atlanta. So homelessness, it sparks a lot of crime too. So they kind of go hand in hand. And just think about it. When we had those projects, we had those communities that those grandmamas was in. These kids had stability, meaning their parents had a place to go to so they can regroup to get it back together. Now they don't have nowhere to go. And so grandmama, and just think about when you go to a grandmama house, you think about joy. You think about your best times in your life. And so that's why we named it Grandmama's House.
Okay. That's a good thing. I mean, that's definitely a good thing. So what made you, besides that, when you guys started, because I've been...
I'm listening. Sorry about that.
Okay. Can you hear me, Bo?
Hello? I hear you clear.
Okay.
I hear you clear.
So just a little background, I went to high school with Bo. He went to Douglas, the best in the West.
We ain't even hold that against him.
Yeah, so it's
good. There you go. You taking shots like that. What school you went to?
He went to Thayer. He don't matter.
Oh, he don't matter, period. He shouldn't even be talking.
Yeah, so it's good to see that Bo coming up. He grew up in Simpson Road, Dixie Hill area. So to see him being able to give back is a good thing. So I actually went in and supported him in your Christmas event that was at Grandma's house. Tell us about the Christmas event.
So we did a Christmas drive. We had 2 Christmas drives. We had 3 Thanksgiving drives. We gave out 188 toys to families in the Dixie Hill community. We went and did an additional 51 gifts to the residents in Allen Temple. We took them there. And we did an additional about 8 families that we took to mothers who had 7, 8 kids. We did personal drop-offs. So we had 3 different Christmas events. And it was, it was kind of some of the best times in my life.
It's always good to give back.
Yes, it's great to give back. We had 3 Thanksgiving drives. We did 100 turkeys in the Dixie Hill community. We did 100 turkeys in under 45 minutes. That scared me. I didn't think we was gonna hit that number. We've been building relationships in Allen Temple, so we decided that we don't just want to show up in the residence. We want to build relationships. And you know how you build relationships, you have to be consistent. So we did 100 turkeys in Allen Temple. But my biggest joy was we did a Thanksgiving Day breakfast at Dixie Hill First Baptist Church. And we fed over 250 people for Thanksgiving Day breakfast. So that was and there was a lot of the young kids and gangs and stuff. And I had a moment where I say, this is what community and church looked like when we started to come together as a community and a church. So that was one of my most proudest moments up to this far in doing the things we've been doing.
And how long you say you've been doing this?
Under a year now. March will be a year, so I've been wide open. Under a year.
Okay. That's what's up.
So when you have your Safe 60 and open forum for the men to speak, will you be doing all the talking, or will you have guest speakers, or how would that what does that look like?
So how we normally do it when we started, when we hit the communities, we bring people out who was impactful in that community.
Okay.
So we kind of let them spearhead the conversations in those communities. And then from there, we add people, different communities. We add different impactful people too, and we do bring people out because it works 2 ways. It brings a person who's not familiar with that side of town to come to that side of town and see what we're going through. Because it's easy to look on news, it's easy to hear conversations what people are saying, but until you actually in the middle of it, you get a different feeling of what we're going through. Because what I have noticed is these are our kids. Okay, what we talking about right now, and we do a lot of talking as a black community. We do a lot of talking, but we don't do a lot of action. We're not in the trenches where our kids are really being impacted. I've been in situations where kids say they sleep in the tub at night. And I'm like, what you mean you sleep in the tub at night? And they say it's so much gunshots go on at our house at night. Our parents put us in the tub on the floors so we can wake up in the morning and won't be shot in our sleep. I've been in areas where parents tell me they're afraid for their kids to go on the playground and play because a lot of them not making it back in the house just from going outside playing on the swing set. So we got a lot of impact we need to do. And the first way we do, we got to get out and be visible in these communities. And it's a process. It's a process. The first thing we can do is start to build relationships. And then from relationships, we can bring programming. And from programming, we can bring resources. But we got to bring, because just think about it. If you out there enough, you become recognizable faces. And as people recognize you more, they start to open up to you more. So we're not using no churches. We're not using no rec centers. We're not using no buildings. When we go out, we're going right in the heart. We're pulling right up on store corners. When we was in Flipper Timber, we had like 150 kids show up. When we was in Allen Temple, it was like 200 kids showed up out there because it's just more kids. When we was in Elder Ridge, we had like 150 kids show up. And we educate them and we doing follow-ups. And we right there, because we don't want, because these are our youth. These are our babies, and they're being influenced. I won't have stories where a kid tell me, he said, this kid was 12 years old. 12 years old. He tell me, he said, I'm playing in parents. And I'm like, what you mean? He like, me and my girlfriend, we playing the kids. I'm like, what you mean? He trying to have a baby, but he tell me he been in the game since 9 years old, right? He tell me he shot somebody at 9 years old to get initiated in a game. He tell me he robbing people at 12. Like, he tell me his mama buy him weed to smoke. That's crazy. Like, that's crazy. So many of those cases going on in our communities. I'm not caring about those other communities. These are our kids in our communities. And getting out, you start to feel the pain that our kids, like, it's an alarm, man, because now we're dropping out middle school. Just think about it. Kids used to didn't graduate high school, but at least they made it to 11th, 12th grade. Now these kids not even making it out of 7th grade no more. Right? So we got a wave of kids that's dropping out, and it makes us no better because as soon as your kid get in trouble in school, they expelling them. But when they expelling them, they send them back home where they're not doing nothing but getting in more trouble. So you expel him for 2 weeks. That means you put him back in a rough situation for 2 weeks of running the streets, no food, robbing, stealing, possibly killing. You making him be a vulture for 2 weeks. So we need to, my fight right now is to get in the communities. That's what we're doing, and to bring more awareness, bringing guys like y'allself visibility to what's going on with our youth. We're not going to fix all the problems, but we can start, because I hear too many people saying, ooh, I care. They care from a distance. Ooh, they care from a phone, right? Ooh, they care because, like if you ain't grew up there, your heart not going to be there. But these are our youth. These are our babies. I'm going in apartments and kids 10 years old smoking blunts like they 20 years old. It's crazy. And it's normal. Like, they not even uncomfortable. I'm like, is y'all kidding? They don't even have no real male role models. Right? They don't. The parents don't have multiple kids by multiple guys who not in their life. And so that opened up the door for death. It opened up the door for incarceration. And it opened up the door for taking another black male in the future out the streets. So that's what I've been doing. we getting better. We getting more people engaged in it. You know, we getting more churches involved. Just being aware of what I mean by involved, just being what's aware of what's going on in their communities. You know, there's so many churches in our black communities that's not aware on what's going on in their communities. So we just out bringing a lot of awareness to people in our communities, and I think that's how we started, just bringing awareness and making it safe. Because I think if we bring enough awareness and then we make it safe enough, then I think help will come. So that's what I've been doing. And this year, I got my seatbelt on because I'm going harder, because I feel like every time a kid get killed, it falls on me. You know, and I think as a black male, it should fall on each one of us every time a kid get killed, because I don't feel like we're doing enough. You know, we so busy worrying about our family, our kids, but we miss out on who are their friends, right? Their classmate, right? Things that affecting them through social media, right? Things that affecting them through news. These are our kids. So I do feel guilty because I feel like I'm not doing enough. And so for this year, 26, I'm going harder, and doing enough is just being more present. You know, trying to impact. I had a classmate, Mark, like reach out to me. She didn't reach out to me fast enough. She was trying to reach out through somebody else. She was like, I need to get my son over there with you, Bojack, to start mentoring him. Guess what? He got killed 2 weeks later. I feel even worse. They let me know the parent was already know her son needed help. He was killed 2 weeks later. You know, he was caught in the middle of a shootout at 17 years old and killed. So, you know, so I'm just trying to do my part. And if I can post up on the northwest side of Atlanta on Simpson, a neutral location, my doors are open. And with open doors, I'm open for people to come in and help, you know, mentor. Like our kids over there. So now I'm talking about the 19 to 40. So I don't got away from the young kids. These kids 19 to 40, they don't drop out of middle school. So you gave them 10 years of struggling in the world before they got 19. These guys don't have birth certificates. These guys don't have Social Security cards. You know, these guys don't know how to build resumes, right? These guys ain't even got stability living. But these the people we got to be faced with in society that we are afraid of. So I've been learning a lot since I've been doing these programs I've been doing in the street. It don't open my eyes. Up till last year, I was kind of ignorant to the fact because I was living it, right? Didn't really see what was going on, but I was living in the world. And I just felt like I was blind because I didn't know this kind of living was going on in the world. Then they connected me with these churches in Buckhead. So Bankhead is 30318, right? So Bankhead, and then you go Howell Mill Road is 30318. But those white guys, they white people are a whole nother world, one block over than what go on in our world. And that's just crazy. Things our kids go through one block over than what their kids go through in the same area code. It's just like ridiculous. So I've been on this new crusade, educating myself, getting around better people and bringing better presence. And 26 is the start of a lot of more doors. Got a lot of things coming, got a lot of people. I have been working with the Mayor Office of Violence Reduction. They've been real proactive in the movement. My district guy, Byron Amos, he's been real proactive in the movement. I got a couple pastors, New Jerusalem, Dixie Hill, Simpson Road, Mount Olive. They've been real engaged in what's going on now. They've been real awareness of. So 26, we got a lot of more pushing to do. And, you know, I'm up for it. So that's kind of a whole, in a nutshell, of what I've been doing in these last 10 months.
All right. So, Mark, you going to get us something so we can post this information up?
Yeah, I will get his information, and I'll make sure I get it to you, to each one of y'all. And, you know, we'll get it pushing. Like I said, I've told her I'm definitely down to help and in that capacity that I can.
And if you got a calendar of events, Bo, either put it in the chat or send it. Yeah, because we're in the chat. You can either put it in the chat or you can send it. You can send it to one of us.
I have my calendar by the end of the month because we got a couple more events that's been added in it. So Actually, by after the 19th, I have it because we adding a couple more events in the calendar to get the calendar ready for the new year.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to let us know about?
That's it right now. Thank y'all for having me on here.
Quick question for you, bro. Are you looking for more male mentors or female mentors or what?
Both.
Okay.
We need both because these young girls is worse than the young boys. So, woo, that's a whole nother beast there. These young ladies.
Yeah.
Woo, they, we need prayer. So if I think we can do anything as a community, we need more prayer. That's another reason when we was grandmama house, because one thing we was raised with God. And no matter what your religion say it is, prayer is the same. We need prayer. We was raised with grace. And grace is gone around our community right now. There's so many families now that I don't understand. Church not a part of their life. No matter what your religion is, it's not part of their life. And I think we need prayer. I think, for so many years, my age, we was protected with grace because we had prayer and grandmamas. And, they didn't have no money. They didn't know what they direction they had, but they had a whole bunch of prayer and they prayed for us. If they ain't do nothing, that they prayed and they prayed and they prayed. And I think that's missing. That's why we want grandmama house. These kids don't have no foundation. So when you see these kids running like a pack of wolves, they ain't got no foundation. When you see these kids running like a pack of wolves, they don't even have no males they look up to. So they running like a pack of wolves, and they ain't got nobody they can respect. So they deadly. They scary. Because they uncontrollable. So I would definitely thank y'all and get y'all all my information.
All right. And I'm gonna give you that, but I actually do think that we need a whole lot more than prayer. I think we've been praying for too long, and we need more action.
That's what I've been doing. The action. So I've been action. I ain't even. You hear me? You hear me say that? I feel guilty for every kid get killed because now I'm in the action mode. I'm not in the talking mode no more. Like I'm not talking no more. I'm showing up, and we there. We taking Safe 60 on the road. We got Safe 60. We got another initiative. I got two more initiatives I'm finna spearhead. I'm not unveiling it yet, but I got two more initiatives because for me, I don't want to be in no church talking about, kumbaya. I don't want to be in no wreck. I like to go right where, and they embraced me. I had 14 stops and I had no incidents. That's a blessing. I went to Dunbar. I was in Mechanicsville. I had 14 stops and I had no incidents. So this year we're going to repeat those stops, but we're going to accelerate the stops. So you're right. I'm like you. I want the action. Show me the money. Don't tell me about the money. Show me the money.
And while you're out there, just remember this, brother. Hospitals can't save everybody, so you can't blame yourself for everybody. You can only do.
I know that. I know that. Yeah, I know that. I'm just talking, but I know you can't. But I'm gonna do my part. That's what I mean by doing my part.
That's all you can do. You're drive yourself crazy trying to save everybody.
I ain't gonna try to drive myself, but I'm gonna die right now trying to drive myself crazy to help because these kids, we don't forget as black men. Like these black men not involved. I don't want to bash me as a black man, but I look at my kids. My kids went to college. My kids graduated college. My kids this and that, and I just realized my kids were so sheltered to the reality of life that it's scary. Like they don't even know this, but the kids as they get older, they might have to come encounter. And I just, I was blind to the fact, that these kids, my kids don't know what it feel like to go home with a kid smoking weed with his mom and they on the 20. My kids don't know what that look like. I mean, like struggling about my kids don't know that. They didn't know that growing up. So, I was blind to it. And so now I'm blinding myself to it. I understand why these white people now, they kids come in the communities and do community service. They do outreach work, and I know that's a whole nother topic. But they make them aware of privilege. You privileged, I get it, but you're gonna go do community service in the black communities where poverty is at the greatest. So they make them appreciate they privilege. And that's something, and I learned that I didn't know. So I'm learning a lot of things I didn't know. But white parents take their kids and do work where the poverty is the greatest at. And we as black kids, black parents, we run away from where poverty is the greatest at. And that's just the truth. We forget where we come from. And I guess they say that's where for me, they tell me that's where my most trauma came from. So what I'm doing is taking on to fix me. I got to go to where my trauma started to fix it. And most blacks, they run from their trauma and they move out and they never come back. And for a lot of us, it worked. But you might have one drift back. It might be a sister kid. It might be a kid who ain't been had yet. But somebody always drift back to say, because this is what I run into a lot too. My grandmama was raised over here. My uncle lived over here. And I'm like, nigga, that was 40 years ago. What you doing over here? I mean, so. But no.
I don't think they run from it, Bo. I think they just don't know. And until you know, you can't change nothing. And ignorance has been our way for far too long. That's why we got to change. As Tupac said, we got to change the way we eat. We got to change the way we think. We got to change the way we live. We got to do better, but we got to acknowledge it. We got to acknowledge it first. Once you acknowledge it, then you can come about it.
Yes.
So like I said, send me information, brother. I appreciate it. And you want to come back on, just let me and Mark know. Because like I said, we're gonna
okay, and we have some events. I love for y'all to show up. We got this thing I'm starting on Wednesdays. And we're doing events. I love to have inspirational males come out, because that's what they need to see black men as being black men. Sometimes
just let me know. I came from Dixie Hills and Adamsville and Eaglehorn.
Okay. I believe it.
I came from way too many places.
That probably 40, 50 years ago. You don't even probably know what it looked like no more.
Oh yeah, I still ride through that. I still remember 617 and all them other places I ain't gonna get into.
Okay. So you got 2097. You more than welcome to show up many times as you want to.
All right. Well, we're gonna get together. Make sure you put your number in the chat.
Okay, I will. I do that.
All right. I appreciate you.
Thank y'all, man. I don't want to be in no rush. I got an event I was headed.
Hold on one second, Bo.
You got no questions, Bo.
I just wanted to say, man, really appreciate what you're doing. That's been a dream of mine, just to get out here and help people. And so, hats off to you, man. I just need to say that.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. You got the message.
No, sorry about that. I was okay. I thank y'all. I mean, every time we get on the chance to get a black platform, because what I understand now is that we don't know. We raised where we were so busy surviving, and our parents were so busy providing that, we didn't. It is no disrespect to us. We just don't know. We weren't raised with this privilege these other people have, and so our privilege is parents trying to find a way to get the light bill, praying that my son don't get killed to go to get incarcerated. So our life is different, complicated. So it's hard. We will miss living our life on what's going on around us. So that's normal for us. It's not normal for them, but we gonna make it normal for us, because we're gonna educate our youth a little bit more. We're gonna push these people to bring better for our, like, we could demand these police departments, we could demand these schools, we could demand these communities, we could demand these apartments where killing going on, but they should have better security. They should have better cameras. They could have better things to help our kids be more protected. And then when we started demanding it, we're gonna get better action. But as long as we don't know, we won't demand it. So they live on us not knowing. So that's all right, but we're gonna start to get loud and louder.
So let's get together. It's some things I can tell you to do, since I used to be a cop. There's some things I can tell you what y'all need to ask for. That's easier to get than just screaming loud and saying nothing.
Right, exactly.
We'll link up.
Okay.
Hey Mo. And also with your program, Bo would be a good person to talk to get some of those kids involved.
I was hoping you'd say something. Yeah, he said he's going to send his information, so I'm going to make contact with him.
Okay,
that'll be perfect. I so appreciate y'all.
Okay, well, we definitely appreciate you both for coming out, and we, like I say, we're going to support you as much as we can, and keep being great.
Okay. Y'all too. Thank y'all a lot. Thank you.
Hey, Bo, one last thing before you leave. I'm gonna get with Roy because Roy got a center in College Park. So maybe we need to think about having some events at the center. We can get everybody in there at one time. We get everybody in one place. So
Yeah, we need to
marinate on that.
We need to travel around. We color people, we everywhere, so we got to be everywhere. We like ants. If you drop some food, they gonna come out. You gonna be like, "Where them ants come from?" I ain't even know I had ants in my house. You look up, you got ants in your house and leave food out, right? That's how we are, color people. We gonna come out, so we need to be everywhere.
All right, we're gonna get together.
Okay, thank y'all.
All right, be safe, brother. Appreciate you.
Okay, all right. Put it in the chat.
Man, good job, Mark. Mark, that was fantastic, man. That's amazing.
I appreciate it. I know some people besides y'all, you know.
That's amazing.
Thugs and
hopefully this will get us off to a good start and you won't have to work that hard this year, Mo. Hopefully. I'm hoping. I want to say something, but I ain't gonna say nothing. Joe, we didn't get a chance. Hey man, Happy New Year. How everything going with you?
Happy New Year to all you all. Happy New Year.
Yeah, I almost went to Joe, man, but I didn't because my man, all he was talking about was the suppression campaign that's going on in the community. And I know Joe got a book. I know you got a book, Joe. I know you got one. Yeah.
So what we're gonna do? Let's see. It's 6:38. We're gonna have a serious conversation. Then we're gonna go a little lighter. I was trying to get somebody on because this is what and Mo, you're gonna be the perfect host for this. The school shootings came up, and I don't know if y'all been paying attention to what's going on in Uvalde, where they wanted to prosecute the chief, and now all of a sudden the case being held up because the prosecution held up some vital information. And I was in a chat, and everybody, it's crazy. Everybody know what police do, but ain't nobody police, or they know what they should do, and they love to say what they would have done. And it's a double-edged sword because people want to swear police ain't better than them, but police are the ones who run to trouble. So you can feel how you want to about them. You can feel like they are crooked, which you can't prove. But what you can prove is they run to trouble more often than anybody else, and they ain't got no skin in the game other than it's what they do. But when school shootings first started, and they started becoming prevalent, and I remember this because when they first started doing active shooter drills, the first rule was to regroup, never to attack, because most of the time the active shooter unless you're better armed than them, but you're not supposed to run to death. That's nothing we've ever taught. Later they changed it to go ahead and address the active shooter, or at least trying to do something. The job ain't never been suicidal, and people get caught up. Oh, if these kids getting shot, I'm gonna do something. And it's like, yeah, what you gonna do? You gonna go get shot too? Because I hate when people act like it's some TV shit. If you back then a normal patrolman and all you got is a handgun and 40 bullets and somebody got a rifle, if you running down a hallway and they got a straight shot at you and you got a straight shot at them, you're gonna be accurate. You might be accurate up to 20 yards. That rifle is accurate up to 100 yards. Them hallways are 100 yards. Your bullet ain't gonna get to him. And people saying what cops should do and shouldn't do. Oh, I would have did this. And I look at all the videos. You ain't do shit when it was happening in your neighborhood. But I don't want to get into that. What I want to talk about is the realistic training and knowing what people should or shouldn't do, which is why I've always been a fan of the community policing. If you show the community what you do and you have some of them going through the civilian police academy, they can start changing some of the thought processes. Now, a lot of stuff in Uvalde went wrong from what I saw. A lot of stuff went wrong. I'm not even trying to get around that. All I'm trying to do is say there was a different training mode. And before you accuse somebody, you got to know what they were trained for. You have to know. And this is where a lot of times departments will throw you under the bus because you're either undertrained, hadn't been trained, or something like that. So I wanted to get Joe because Joe was a chief. I was a line officer. Like I said, because I know the training changed. What I took at first ain't what they teaching now, because now they're teaching you to address the issue. But I also know now that most patrolmen have rifles now. At one point, all resources were getting rifles, because if all you got is a handgun, you still kind of at wit's end. What you got, Joe? You shaking your head over there, sir?
I'm gonna wait till you finish.
No, I'm finished now. Go ahead.
Well, there's a difference between perception and reality. You and I had a conversation, but I'll share this with the rest of the group. Right after Columbine, I had some conversations with the sheriff out there, and there's actually a book out. It was what we call a postmortem, like a better term, of what went right, what went wrong, what do we correct. Well, soon after Columbine, that's when you started seeing the spikes again. And the interesting thing is, well, let me start with Columbine. Most people don't know that in Columbine, they not only had a plan, but they had also planted bombs. They found 2 more bombs in cars with shrapnel. They also found about 6 more weapons, and then some other ancillary issues. But I will say this. Most of these departments will have you believe they train for an active shooter. Well, that's a bunch of BS. You cannot train for a situation like that on a computer screen, point one. The other issue that people realize is there's a mindset that goes along with taking someone's life. If you are not prepared to do that, this is not the job for you, or have your life taken. The other part of that expanding realm of information is leadership. As DVP said, you just can't run into fire. You have to have a plan. I will tell you that I know of departments that will tell you, yeah, we got all these plans. We've got these, what we call general orders and what you should do. Well, there's a problem when you have the theorists telling the practitioners what to do. So I can sit at the desk and theoretically tell you how to approach a scene, but I've never done it. I can tell you for a fact that I know of not only major departments here within the Midwest, but across this nation that don't practice what they preach. They will tell you, yeah, we're ready. I think I know of maybe 4 departments in this country that are truly ready. And as far as the deployment of rifles, you will find that half these departments may have them. They haven't issued them to them. They haven't trained the officers on what's called close quarter combat. And that's exactly what it is. But again, a part of that is being trained that you may have to take a life. And they are not trained up. They are not ready. I'd say 98% of this country is not ready from a law enforcement side to go in and do what has to be done. And I'll stop. And I got more, but I'll wait.
And part of the process is because I work in training, and this has been one of my issues since forever. If we're going to train people for this, like the one I went to was so unrealistic, and it's like, yeah, if the guy's sitting here and he's got his back turned, you can creep up on him.
Right.
Well, that's realistically not going to happen.
No.
And if he's in the classroom, you know how many different ways you can sneak through a classroom door? There's like 0. So if he's in the classroom, you're not gonna go through that door and he ain't gonna see you. And and more and Mark, I'm gonna let you guys ask the questions because, as I said sometimes it's cops. Me and Joe may overlook little things that regular people don't see, but we got what we call the fatal funnel. And the fatal funnel is when you open the door. There's nowhere for you to go, so you ain't got to be a bad shot to shoot at the doorway that just opened, especially if light is coming through it. You can be Stevie Wonder and hit that. So we teach people to stay at this fatal funnel. So if we teach how to stay at this fatal funnel, why would I tell somebody to go through this door and stay in the fatal funnel? Oh, wait, you got to make what's the word, Joe? When you bust through the door, when you busting through don't change the fact that you're in the fatal funnel. So you just made a lot of noise when you get shot, and that's a noisy shot. Or you can go through stealthily. Okay, so you got shot being quiet. Either way, you're going through a fatal funnel. And when people say what should have been done, and and as Joe was saying, even if it's 12 of us. If it's 12 of us and we got to all go through this fatal funnel, what does that mean? And you know, like I said, don't get me wrong. I ain't saying that something shouldn't have been done, but if you don't train for it, you ever watch fire departments? Fire department train with fire. They don't just run up into buildings and go to and do nothing. They've already set fires. When I was at the academy and we did crimes in progress, well, we start using the bullets that explode on you. Them bullets hurt. Oh God, do they hurt? But we start using those. So you know if you get shot, you know if you somewhere, you know, all this bang, bang, I got you. No, we're gonna do away with that. When you get hit with these little balls, one, they leave a welt, but two, they hurt. They hurt. And when they bust on you, they bust red. And the first time I got hit one, it hurt me so bad, I actually thought I was shot. I was like, this bitch shot me for real. But you know, that's one of the things that, but once you get into that mindset, and Joe can tell you this, most time when we shoot, that's the only time we hear a bunch of gunfire. When you in that, once you get used to gunfire, it's a whole different animal. But the first couple of times you hear gunfire, nobody's a hero. Nobody's a hero because you're not used to it. Especially, either one of you guys ever been to a range?
I have.
You know how you hear pop, 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 and everybody's over there, and you can tell it ain't close on you. When we go to the range, our range instructor will shoot behind us while we're shooting to make sure we stay focused. And the first time he did, the most of us just scared the shit out of us because ain't nobody never returned gunfire at us or been that close to us where you could actually hear it and you can smell that gunpowder. That's a whole different animal. But our thing was to get more realistic training, and you can't do that, as Joe say, sitting in the classroom, taking a paper test, or you know, we even got one that's on the computer, which is crazy to me because no 6 foot man is 6 foot on this little computer screen. But you're supposed to make sure, and it's just insane because there is no real threat. But when people think that there are things that we do that we don't do or we cannot do, oh, y'all train for this. You know, the whole thing. Oh, y'all can shoot me in the leg like I did on TJ Hooks. You got to be shitting me. It's hard enough hitting a body. Trying to hit a leg. Anybody got shot in the leg, it's two things happen. It was pure luck or it was the best sniper on SWAT. But for the regular person, it ain't happening. It ain't, unless he was, if he was Olympic shooter, it ain't happening because Olympic shooters ain't shooting at moving targets either. They're shooting at stationary targets. But it's crazy what people think they can do. And I listen to people all the time. You know, they want all this information. They want the kids to have phones. They want this and this and this, this and this. But nobody ever asked for. I mean, schools are getting tighter now, but the least protected group is still our kids. We got more security at malls. We don't want our kids to feel like they're in a military state. Well, you either want them to be safe or you don't. You can't halfway do it.
Right outside.
It's kind of like having an alarm on your house. It's cute to have an alarm, but if you don't never cut it on, what's the purpose of having an alarm? So what y'all got, Mo and Mark? Me and Joe gonna answer questions.
All right, you want me to start, Mark? I got a whole list, man, but I don't want to drown you out. I'll let you go first.
No, go ahead. And I just creep in now. Go ahead.
All right, let's start with protocol. All right, I'm not here to. I don't want everybody to think I'm second guessing what happened. But I do have the civilian view, and I'm thinking something else should have been done. So I'm coming at it from that perspective. Like I said, though, you guys, you know, there's a difference between, like you said, sitting on the couch and being on that field, getting hit by a 250-pound lineman, two different things, right? So here's the thing. We talk of protocol, right? So what I want to know is, and I don't want to, you know, like I said, second guess Columbine, but because 2020 is hindsight, I can ask these questions now, and I'm not pointing fingers, but why do this is gonna sound like a stupid question, but I'm still gonna ask
stupid questions.
Yeah, this one gonna sound real stupid. Why do police hold back parents who want to sacrifice their lives to save their children?
Well, maybe there is such a thing as a stupid question. No,
I told you. Hey, I need to know, man, because listen, if you ain't going in the building.
No.
You an officer, right?
Let me get this right quick for you.
Hold on. This is civilian, right?
Right.
You ain't going into the building. Get the hell out the way, man. Let me go.
That's not silly. That's not stupid. That's a silly question. And let me tell you why it's silly. First off, our job is to save lives, not to sacrifice them. So it's not my job. If you want to die, that's one thing. But you're not going to die because I let you die. So
with my assistance.
with my assistance, because now you also talking about a liability issue. I mean, realistically, but it's a good question. I was just kidding you.
No, I got you, Joe. But
let me finish.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
That's like when you have a parent coming on to the scene of a homicide. Well, certainly, could I let them go in and see their child? Certainly. But why? Number one. Number two is against protocol. Number three, they can't contaminate the scene. Number four, it serves no purpose. Number five, it takes the scene higher than it needs to be. I'm trying to de-escalate. Now I'm going to escalate that higher. And I don't do that. I do them no service by letting them see their child or whatever else. So that's part of that. But as far as running in, here's the other thing. Let me just say this. Why would I allow somebody to run in to a chaotic scene and make it more chaotic?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this: when parents want to run in, and I think it's always cute and comical. So you're gonna run in and you're gonna grab your child. Like, do you even know who your child is? So you're gonna run in and you just add to the chaos. Because what do you? Oh, he got a tile tracker on. I can go to his spot. I'm gonna move the other kids out the way and just grab mine. And while I'm doing this with my shield, invulnerability, and invisibility, I can't get shot at.
Right.
Because you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna save my child. How you gonna save your child? I mean, even if you got the truck on, what if your child already been shot? And it's just too much. It's too much going on. They ain't been trained, and this is where I always ask people, if that's what you really want to do, why don't you just become a cop then? Become part of the solution. Don't become a bigger part of the problem.
Correct.
So they don't want to do that. And if we talking for real, it's shitty pay, but most cops make more than most people. So if it's about the money, then it makes more sense to become a cop. If you really care about the community, it makes more sense to want to be a cop. If you care about uplifting and learning shit, it makes more sense to become a cop, because now you can have a direct influence on some stuff. But it's not what we want to do. And there's nothing wrong with playing Monday morning quarterback and second guessing. It's what we always do, and it's why people don't like when Joe has to say, "Oh, you just taking up for the cops." Well, sometimes the cop was right. Sometimes the system is wrong. Sometimes people think that the guy who you saying no better than nobody else is supposed to do something nobody else will do. Oh, it's your job. I can guarantee you, look at a cop contract. There's nothing in that says anything about that. Nothing that says run here for and put your life up with this. The military is totally different. In the military, you say you will give up your life for your country. Yeah, I ain't seen a police contract that says you're gonna give up your life for a neighbor.
Right. For the municipality.
I got something with that.
Go ahead,
Mo. And what they said was, I heard y'all say the word liability. If this parent goes in, and let's just say they are armed, and they go in to save their child, and let's just say have a shootout with the perpetrator or the suspect, and miss and hit somebody else's kid, how bad of a liability would that be, and who does that fall back on?
Let me take that one. Let's just say if it will fall on the officers on the scene, it will become a tort, will become an injury case, and you will be held accountable, because your job is to protect. Your job in all municipalities is to secure the scene. Part of the securing the scene is you don't let anybody in. So liability will fall back on those officers on that scene. And in fact, it will probably start with the patrolman, sergeant, lieutenant on up. The city would pay for that. You can have all the best intention in the world, but the liability will fall back on the police department and individuals too. As they say,
would that particular parent be charged?
Absolutely.
Oh, probably. Yeah. Now, remember there's two. When you say charged, remember you've got two sides. You've got a criminal and a civil. Would that parent be charged criminally? Definitely. Yes. And civilly? Oh, definitely. There would be a major lawsuit, and it would include the parent. And as they say, you can be sued jointly or severally. So yes.
And Mark, you mentioned the word liability, and it's something that all cops are taught. Every bullet you shoot, you better know where it's going. You can't know in them situations. And to me, you know, like I said, I've seen some of the training, and you still ask me to do some of the most incredible shit under stress. Again, I went to a class, a shooter class, and you know what they made us do? We had to park our patrol car, run a block and a half, and take on 20 targets. And 7 of the targets were balloons. So with the wind blowing, the balloon is with a paper target. The paper target is the good guy. You got to hit this balloon, but you got to run a block and a half first. The guy don't tell you when to reload. He don't tell you nothing. He just tell you do what you do. You got some targets that you got to double tap. So you're winded. And it's just to show us that we're not in as good shape as we claim to be, or that we want to act like we're, you know, everybody can go to the range and do this. Yeah, you do all this shit at your own pace. When you don't put in realistic training, when the people don't demand it, and everybody got this unrealistic expectation, and now you want me to account for my bullets. We have to qualify every year. It's somewhere between 80 and 90, which to me is bullshit. But you're shooting at a paper target with no threat. So what you're giving me is you're giving me the best of the best scenario. If everything is going great, and no, because Joe, just help me out. When can a cop just shoot at somebody if there's no threat?
Never.
So, but when do we train to shoot at people? When there's no threat, right? So it's almost an oxymoron. We're training for something that we can't do, but and it's like the one where we got to shoot at people. You can see how crazy the shots was going, because the cops got yellow paintballs. We got red paintballs. The yellow paintballs all over the place, because you can't aim while you're being shot at, and it's such a cute thought process that's so unreal. And oh, y'all train for this, y'all train for that. You don't train to be nobody. Firemen train because they go through actual fires. Even in the military, I don't know if any of y'all been in the military. When they put you in that gas chamber, you walk in there. So even then, it's kind of unrealistic, because most time when you hit gas, you're already deep breathing. It ain't gonna take that long because you're breathing in it quick. But you also got adrenaline going, which means you can get through it a little bit faster. And I tell people, it's just like with a taser or pepper spray. If I spray you guys right now, all y'all gonna drop. But if we're fighting, the taser don't work the same way, OC don't work the same way, because now you got adrenaline on your side. When somebody starts shooting, you get adrenaline on your side. And guess what happens? And somebody say, no. I say, run from your house to the mailbox and then try to put your key in the car. When adrenaline kick in, you lose fine motor skills. That's why you get the shakes. That's something you got to practice for, because you're going to get the shakes, and that's what adrenaline does. You can do big things. You can't do small things. Something simple as putting the key in the car, or opening the front door with a key. It ain't happening no more. You got to learn to temper that down. You know how long that's going to take you? So we talk about what's the police responsibility. And the bigger question is, what is the department's responsibility? What have they actually been trained for? What is it? Are we trying for this? No, you don't. You have a lesson plan for that. You know, when we train, remember in school when we trained for fire drills?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What happened if somebody messed up? They just blew a whistle. Nobody ever got trained how to respond to a fire drill. Ever. There was never any panic, because anybody who ever been in a real fire know ain't nobody standing there counting. That teacher ain't standing there counting. Listen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She ain't counting. She getting the hell out too. I've been in real fires. It ain't nothing like the drill. Ain't nothing like it. Because nobody's sitting there. Well, I ain't gonna say nobody. Very few people are sitting there they remember the exit is, and everybody getting the hell on. And it's like, where's the reality to it? But you want to hold people accountable, and everybody can say, oh, this what I'll do. Mark, you've been, I don't know, any of y'all ever been in one of these VR rooms?
Oh yeah.
I have.
You see how people act in them VR rooms? You see how many shots they missing, and what's the threat to them then? Nothing.
Right.
But they get caught up in it. They get a little adrenaline dump. You start hearing people's voice change. And what's the worst that can happen to you in a VR room? You have a heart attack from excitement. So imagine if you could really get hurt. Imagine then. Because some of these VR rooms are pretty good, but they're still just rooms. You got a mask on, you know you're safe. There's no threat to you. and people still lose their mind, don't they, Mark?
They do.
You
They
hear
do.
them screaming. You see someone diving and knocking people out the way and what the hell?
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, not terrible, but it's no, it's not a threat, because the last one I did was with a zombie apocalypse. You know they can't hurt you, but a zombie come out and be right there close to you. Yeah, you and you jump and you move as if it's real.
And somebody
So,
next to you
I can
knocking their ass
understand.
down.
The unfortunate part of what we're talking about, though, is a real phenomenon. I've got some stats. School shootings have increased dramatically. But again, when we look at, I believe I've got I got it somewhere. I probably put it away. I've got the post-mortem on the Columbine, which I would invite anybody to read. And since then, the other school shootings, all of them have, let me digress. There are two professors in Minnesota. It's called the Violence Project. And they talk about how to prevent mass shootings. It's well worth the read. I had written a position paper right after.
What's the name of it?
It's called the Violence. I'll put it in the chat in a minute. It's called the Violence Project, and it talks about the school shooter, how to stop them, how to stop mass shootings. I got a couple of books, and I'll put them in the chat in a minute. But what's interesting is that there's certain demographics, and again, it gets glossed over. The shooters are primarily 98% white males. That's not to say they haven't any black ones. There's been one in Texas, or two. One was in Texas, but the overwhelming majority have been white males, although you do have some white females. We had the white female that took out, 10 kids here in Illinois some years ago, and that was pre-Columbine. So it was the Illinois shooting, then Columbine, and then the rest, as you know. But the psychosis is what we keep missing. Now, it's interesting because when we talk about training, when we used to train our detectives, we finally started training them in cold weather. We trained in hot weather. We trained at night, during the day. We would have flashing lights. We'd do all kinds of stuff. We even put in malfunctions in the guns, and you should see the people. Their own magazines. We put in a dummy round, and they would go completely. They lose it completely. But isn't this what we train for? And as I had to tell one guy, I said, "Look, calm down." I had to pull him off the line. I said, "Look, man, we come up, snap back, stop back." Hello, but he had completely lost it. I mean, and it was a simple tap, rack, and get back into the action.
Tap, rack, bang. Tap, rack, bang. They teach it that every year.
And the problem was that we went back and looked at videos of actual shootings where the police officers completely lost it because that simple action of tap, rack, and roll, which is muscle memory, they've forgotten. Just because, as you say, the age-old saying that pressure make a pipe burst is very true. But guess what else make a pipe burst? Cold. When people are subjected to cold weather, not hot, but cold weather, they lose all sense of time and reality. So we take our guys, we did it in snow, same thing. We put the malfunction in there and they just completely lose it. And it was a matter of simply repeating the steps that you have been taught. Now, going back to the original topic, and I maintain this, 98% of the police departments in this country are not ready for a school shooting. Patrol division, and understand this, to any patrolman out there, I love you. You are the basis of all police agencies, although they treat you like shit. But patrolmen are not getting the training. And what happened is those leaders will tell you, oh yeah, we've given them training. What, a 4-hour class on a computer, or a 1-day class of, you ask them to come in, but you give them no real training, whether it be a shoot house, even VR. You need to see these things. You need to be in it, because again, when we trained our detectives, we let you see actual scenes. we put you in, you see things that you've never seen before. And that, I maintain, is the only way to train in these scenarios. I'll leave it at that.
And that's one of them things that's got to be put on the table. We had to train in the rain. If y'all don't know nothing else, shooting in the rain, and as Joe said, being cold will bring out the hero in you. When it's cold and it's wet, things are different. Things are way different. But if you don't train for it, if you don't practice for it, you do what you do under stress. And Mark, we can relate to this. We played football. And anybody who plays sports, and the guy said it best, you can tell who your best athletes are when the score is tight. When you up 20, everybody's a good athlete because there's no pressure. When you down 20, everybody's a good athlete. There's no pressure. But when it's 40 seconds left and it's a 2 point, people either don't want to shoot or they don't want to catch the ball. You know who want to catch the ball. You know who's going to do this. It's the same thing with this. It ain't for everybody. And I've seen people quit after a shooting because they weren't prepared for it, because it was nothing like the classroom setting. It was nothing like it. Getting hit by somebody for real is nothing like they teach you in the academy, because we play with kid gloves. And ready to tell you, man, when you go through my class and they stop me, we're gonna go through this. I ain't trying to break nothing, but I'm trying to hurt you because I need you to understand this. I need to see what you're gonna do under pressure. But as Joe will tell you, if you want to let me do this, my 40-hour class once a year, ain't none of y'all gonna retain none of this. I'm retaining it because I'm doing it twice a month for 11 months. So it's second nature to me now how to act under stress. I'll let people attack me after lunch. You ain't even got to give me no warning, but I'm used to this. The people who I'm training, I can come out there and be the best instructor Joe ever seen. But he gonna give me his people for 1 week, maybe for 30 hours. But then after that, when do they get their refresher?
Correct.
They ain't getting it, so there's nothing for them to retain because they never had a chance to use it. I mean, it's with any skill you got. The things we used to could do, stop riding a bicycle for 20 years. And it's like riding a bike. Yeah, you know how to pedal, but how many of us rode a bike? Remember, we could ride and we didn't have to hold on to the handlebar. We could do all this.
Oh, yeah.
Put us on the bike now and see what happens. We're not letting go of the handlebar. We're not even going to try to one-hand drive that handlebar no more. You can do the basic, but you ain't as good as you was when you was doing it every day. Ain't nothing changed. You still know how to balance. You don't fall when you walk. But we're talking about little fine motor skills now. You got to pedal. You got to balance. You got to know what to do with your hands. Because back in the day, we could be dancing and do all this on the bike. Cool. Man, ain't nobody finna try that. We ain't even finna do that on the stationary bike now. So when people say, what are we supposed to do? Ask your chiefs what they train for. Do the civilian thing. Go out there and see if it's actually realistic. Because, like I said, I've been training. That's why I stopped doing certain things. It's like this training y'all give them is unrealistic. Ain't nobody gonna do this. Ain't nobody gonna do this. The only people who do what we say are cops. Cops just give up. Bad guys don't just give up.
Nope.
They don't just give up. And we talk about Joe used cold in the sense of the temperature, but most cops don't do anything to stay warm. I didn't like my guys to eat. You don't do it because there's no way you can eat and digest that food, and then you're prepared for a chase. Because we don't eat snacks. People say, "Are you always eating candy?" Yeah, because candy is energy. I stop eating candy when I get off work. Well, while I'm at work, all I'm eating is candy and drinking Mountain Dew. In case something jumps off, I need to be ready. I don't need to eat a slab of ribs. I don't need that burger. A lot of us don't have the mentality because, and it's crazy, even now we think things won't go wrong. Even with these schools. And I look at them, a lot of these schools got safety things put up now. And it's okay, but you can still walk through. And even if you can't, when you go to these schools now, and they got the camera, you have to ring the buzzer and you have to announce who you are. Once you announce who you are, and they open the door and let you in, and they tell you to sign in. If I come in with a gun, who's gonna stop me now? So all they did was delay me a few seconds, but the resource officer, whoever, they still ain't up there where I'm at. So if I come in and I got guns up under my jacket, I want to shoot, what's gonna happen? But people feel safer now because the good parent can't just come in and pull the door open. Mark was coaching football. What? They got some metal detectors at some of the football games, but do they touch anybody? If I say, "Oh, it's my belt buckle," they're gonna let me through. So I can still have 3 guns on me. They're not gonna pat me down. And it's crazy. If you go to a strip club, you're gonna get searched. The one place where ain't nobody taking no bunch of guns, but they secure. We don't require the same thing. If we want to stop some of this stuff, we got to be more active and say, hey, do you really care if your school is surrounded by military people? Ain't that safe? I don't want my kids to feel like, so you want them to be shot. Because you gotta pick a poison at some point. You can't have it both ways. You want them to feel safe and secure without giving them safe and secure measures. And you know, like I said, I want you guys to ask the questions because we look at stuff, like I said, and I see the dirt on the inside. But it pains me when people, on one hand, act like cops are just like them, which I ain't gonna disagree. But then they act like cops, you know, but we're supposed to do super special shit. Because we've heard people, something happens, son, I ain't doing shit. Well, what make you think my family care about me less than your family? My mama don't want me doing crazy shit. Human survival is the most basic instinct. Cops and firefighters are taught to go against that very thing. But guess what firefighters and ambulance people don't do? You don't go to a scene if it ain't safe. They will wait outside. They don't give a shit what's burning, who dying. If there's shooting going on, you ain't gonna see no ambulance say, oh, we gotta save somebody. That shit is never gonna happen. Never. They look into the cops, because hell, if they go to a scene and hear shots, guess the first thing they do? They say, hey, these people out here shooting, send the police. They ain't finna go save nobody. Because it ain't their job to get killed in the process of trying to save somebody. So I hate when people say, oh, it's your job to do this. It's nobody's job to get killed. That's got to be like the dumbest shit that I heard. And why they didn't do this? And you know, Joe was just telling you, if you look at some of the aftermath stuff, some of these people got bombs set up. Shit, they coming well along. Ain't nobody just came in over with a 6-shooter. And I lived inside it for 6 months. Crazy shit I've ever seen. In elementary school, they teach them how to identify bombers. It's part of their curriculum. If we spent more time teaching our kids how to identify problem students or who may, and if we made that a more active drill, then a lot of this will get cut down earlier because the kids will become first reporters. So I'm like, damn, y'all really teaching kids to identify bombers? And the guy said, how many school shootings Obama have you heard about in Saudi Arabia?
Right.
Okay. You got a point, smart ass.
Yeah.
But where else do you hear about school shooting?
Let me jump into that. I mean, I'm glad you brought that up. There's a couple of things, again, when we talk about, and here's the book. It's called The Violence Project, How to Stop the Mass Shooting Epidemic. It's written by Peterson and Densley, 2 PhDs. There's another book out. It's called Stop Teaching Our Kids to Kill by Lieutenant David Grossman, who I actually brought to the academy. And he argues, and he's former special forces. He makes the argument that the video game industry, and that's another whole topic when we get to time. The video game industry targets certain demographics, and is there a correlation between these video games and violence? And there is. It's crazy as it sounds. There is a correlation. Now, behind the shootings at Columbine and the rest of the FBI actually started a whole section. You can go look it up and look up the FBI's final draft of the Columbine shooting, and there's some surprising things in there that are very good. And not only did the FBI they did a position paper on it. I think it was 100 pages. I got it somewhere, and it talks about how we can do this better. To your point, DVP, and most people don't know this, if you ever fly Air Israel, there's two things. The one thing that happens, and again, you talk about identification. You walk through a line. It's designed a certain way. It's always left-hand turn. So that's part number one, but I'll talk about that later. The other thing is that while you're going through that line, you're being interviewed by people that are, they look like airline stewards or stewardesses. Turns out they're profilers. they are actually by the time you get to the counter and check in, they have a profile on you, and they will tell you, or they will turn you away where you cannot fly on their airline. They're the only ones to do that.
That's crazy.
But it's insane, and it's one of the things where if you go overseas, how they treat things so much differently, and it's as much as we like to talk about them, the kids are some of the safest kids on the planet. You know, we ain't talking about places where they're at war. We just talking about doing the normal course of it. But they train their kids to identify problem people early. It's one of the things we want to keep dancing around. Even with the last little kid, with teachers and everybody telling them that this kid was dangerous, nothing was ever done. And with the rash of mass shootings, that's how we got to this point.
Yep. But
part of the stopping process is identifying the problem before it becomes a reality. Because once it's real, and Joe's a historian. The reason the kamikaze pilots were so effective is because they didn't care about dying. It's hard to beat somebody who ain't got nothing to live for when you have something to live for. We all got something to live for. So guess what? Death ain't at the top of our list. When you meet somebody who don't care no more, I teach defensive tactics, and I tell people this shit will work against the average person. But for somebody who don't care no more, there's no way you can get around not breaking shit. They're not going to succumb to pain. They're not going to succumb to physics. When, it's like, what if you run across somebody who won't melt? I say, everything I'm teaching you with a little bit more pressure, you got to break shit. They're not going to stop coming. You have got to break shit. And as Joe said, if that ain't in your heart, and I hate people say, oh, if I'm scared enough, I'll do it. If you're scared, you ain't going to do it. You got to be controlled enough to do it. Because if you're scared, you're going to miss. Because when you're scared, you're looking at this is what you end up seeing. Even though they say you get tunnel vision, because I want you to get tunnel vision, because I want you to aim at the spot I want you to hit. But you start seeing so much. I'm telling you to hit the guy right above his elbow and lift it like a seesaw. It's going to snap. It's just pure physics. But you keep hitting him in the shoulder. It ain't going to work because that's not how it works. But again, there's no stress when we're doing this. And people keep saying, well, we want this, we want this. Well, a better trained cop, and I hate to pick at people, a better trained cop is not a better educated cop. When you keep one of these college kids, you get what you get. College kids aren't built for war. They're not built for the fight. They're built for taking tests. If you give me 12 people from the hood or 30 people from a college, I'm going to take the 12 from the hood. I can teach them much better because they've had some experience. They ain't going to panic at the first sign of this, first sign of that. But like I said, what I wanted to talk about was what is our actual response? And is it realistic? Like I said, we saw the one, what was the last? Was the last one you bought where we saw all the cops in the hallway just being on their phones and shit? See, that to me was kind of crazy because you got enough people, you got a shield there. I'm not understanding why you're not addressing the issue. But when it's just one person or two, that's a whole different animal. Especially if all I got is a handgun. What'd you say, Joe?
The real question becomes two things we know about how police departments move. One is like the military. That's why it's called a paramilitary operation. We hit you with overwhelming firepower and people. So in that video, the question became, and it was asked, how come you didn't advance? What took you so long to make that move? Because you never see him. They got the shield. It's right there in the picture. He's holding the shield. And nobody had the DVP, you and I talked about it. Nobody had the, for lack of a better word, the intestinal fortitude is the most polite way I can say it, to say advance.
Right.
Now, could they
everybody wait on somebody else to get an order that they ain't gonna follow.
Correct.
So that was my. Oh, go ahead, Joe.
No, go ahead. What's the question?
No, I was gonna say that was gonna be my next question. I was just gonna ask you guys because I have some of the information here, and it says it took when they came on the scene in Uvalde, it took them 77 minutes before they decided to breach. So my question was gonna be, instead of look, we all know what happened, we all seen it, but my question is, what should the protocol have been and who is making those calls? Because something went ridiculously wrong there. 77 minutes. Come on, man. I can drive to a damn other state in that time.
And I will tell you this. That's why they're in court. Because in most cases, in all cases, the first responding car is going to be patrol. Let's just admit that. So the patrolman gets there, and first thing he or she's going to do is going to call for a supervisor. So the first supervisor on the scene, whether it be patrol or anybody else, they got the scene. You can, bar none, everything starts with that person at that point. Now, could the patrolman have gone in? Well, no, because he or she, because most of these patrol cars are what's called 99, they're by themselves. But what most protocol says, when you have assistance, when the second car, third car, whatever, whenever you get assistance, you mount up and you breach. Breach wasn't the term they used at that point, but that's when you make your move. If you come under fire, then that's another issue. But initially, once that first person and you got two people, if you got two people, you're supposed to take them on.
Wow.
You're supposed to take them on. Now the problem is, here's the other problem. Do they have the equipment? Now, again, if you've got, and again, I'm not calling anybody out, if they're chicken-hearted, if they don't think they have the right equipment, or they don't have the right attitude. See, for me in DVP, as you can tell, we wouldn't have a problem about making that call. We're going, because I'm saving them kids. I'm going to get the bad guy, hopefully keep my life, but I'm getting him or her. They're going. But that's just me. But according to protocol across this country, it's got to have a minimum of 2 people. But now all the patrol cars don't have bulletproof shields. All of them don't have rifles. So now you're talking about 2 people with handguns, and you don't know what this other person's got. You don't know if that person's trained up. You don't know if that person's attitude is one of what ours is.
And trust, that make a difference. As much as me and Joe can sit here and say we'll do, let a coward show up with us. Then we're going to back off too. Because now we know we're still by ourselves.
Right.
And you know, that's one of the things I was pushing, that every jurisdiction, they need the same level of training, so they all speaking the same language. I'm in Fulton County. Fulton County Sheriff got to train with Fulton County PD, got to train with Fulton County Marshal, got to train with every agency in here on this protocol. Anytime you're doing something that can be multi-agency, y'all need to have the same training, so y'all speaking the same language, so that when somebody says something, this means the same thing to everybody. This means the same thing to everybody. We can't sit there and all of a sudden we speak in different languages because we use signals. Joe's using 10 code, so we don't even know what the hell we're saying to each other. So guess what that becomes? It becomes an issue because now I don't know what we're saying. And it's these little things that nobody prepares for. You can't create an all-star team like they do in football. You see, that's what, and think everybody can speak the same language, because everybody come from a different system. And now we're sitting here saying, well, I'm saying on 3, and this and it's crazy. I'm saying on 3. So 1, 2, 3, move. No, 1, 2, 3. So now we don't even know how we do things, because everybody has a different way of doing stuff. And it's little things like that now I'm here with somebody who don't understand what I'm saying. So even though I got the requisite number, do I have the requisite number? Because now I don't have the trained people. And it's insane how we think everybody would do the same thing. And it's not, because all the training ain't the same. And that's a huge issue.
All right, so let me ask this last question, man.
Please.
This is a personal, because I'm interested in this. I'm pretty sure other people are too. So took 77 minutes to breach. Question is this: no police on the inside of the school. So what is the communication channel to tell the police officers who were there? So you know where I'm going, Joe. What's the communication channel to tell the police officers who were there to not go in? Like, how do they know the kids just don't have a water pistol and is terrorizing people? You know what I mean? What's the communication channel that helped them make that decision?
You want me to handle that DVP or show you?
Absolutely, sir.
Okay, well, what we do know is that these officers responded and they're all on the same channel. And here's the thing, remember now, when he first went to the school, he was seen carrying a gun in. So that's problem number one. They had a car that could have engaged him and didn't. Problem number one. The second thing is these guys get into school and they hear the rounds going off. Where I come from, if the rounds are going off, you're going in. Because not he's executing people. So in my mind, I mean, I can see the lawsuits and I understand them. And I don't think they're going to really be able to defend themselves. 77 minutes, all those kids are dead. All those people are dead because no one had the organic mindset to go. And they had, here's the thing, they had overwhelming firepower, they had overwhelming numbers, they had overwhelming equipment. They even had flashbangs, for God's sakes. Now, where I'm at, our patrol cars don't have flashbangs. Our patrol cars don't have bulletproof shields. We got SWAT teams, but when this happened, when I was talking to our SWAT commander, you know, I told him, I was quite honest. I made him a bet. In fact, I'm writing about it. I said, listen, you give me 4 of my guys, and I'll kill every person on your weapon, on your SWAT unit, come responding to a school shooting. And he said, I'll bet. I'll take that bet. Well, you know, he never took me up on it because that night I actually called 4 of my guys. I'm like, it's on. We were putting together jamming. We were putting together the jamming systems and how we were going to get them when they roll up on initial call. And I mean, we were getting fishing wire to set booby traps. I mean, within 4 hours, I had 4, myself included, 5 guys, and we were going to wipe out a whole unit, and could have, because again, reaction is one thing. Proactivity is another. So if you're running in, fools run in where wise men walk. You know, so again, TV shit versus reality. It's like this. In the academies, they train people to box. DVP, you know where I'm going with this one. I've never seen a street fighter that came with the marquee of Queensberry Rules. Oh, stand there, my friend. Let's put your dukes up. Man, you get your butt to walk. Look, this whole thing, I don't know if you ever heard of Krav Maga. Krav Maga is just street fighting. That's all. That's all it is. And what they teach you is survive. However you got to do it, survive. Keep moving. Move your hands. Lock your wrist in. Keep them off of you. But you got to keep sight and you got to keep moving. It's street fighting. They teach you to kick, bite, scratch, as opposed to these guys that go, first time I see that, you out, because I'm going to knock you right out. DVP, am I right or wrong?
Yeah, that's why I stopped teaching. Well, they started teaching MMA in defensive tactics. I was like, you know how crazy this is? Because one, we got to take hostages. But you do realize these people got a belt on. You're teaching them grappling. I can't teach somebody grappling who's never been in a fight. Krav Maga is about survival. Grappling is about technique. And it's like, you realize, y'all act like we teach these people to be on soul train. It's not the same. It's not. And you know, I was looking at something, and it happened with us one time. We had an incident, and this is where people don't understand about special units, because I hate specialty units. We needed a SWAT call out. You know how long it takes SWAT to get together? 2 hours. What the fuck is the purpose of SWAT?
I call it SWAT.
But if you got good agencies, SWAT becomes a part of patrol. So you always at least got 2 or 3 on shift.
Right.
These guys don't work shift. So if they don't work a shift, then they should always be ready. So if you're always supposed to be ready, again, well, everybody gonna be here. Well, again, Joe, you was a chief. When do we need everybody? See, one good something I learned from my football coach. We're gonna go with what we got. We can't keep waiting for everybody to be here. Everybody gonna never show up on time. So we got an emergency. You telling me I gotta wait 2 hours for everybody to get here? That is insane. So you ain't prepared for no emergency. You know, because as Joe said, patrolman is a low man on the totem pole. He don't get the best equipment. He don't get the best training. SWAT training 2-3 times a week to answer a call once a quarter, if that.
Maybe. Right.
But the guy who's doing it every day, he can't get that same training. And like I said, that's one of them things again where we have to sit back. When people say, "Oh, we can't afford to take these officers off the street," I bet you can. See, because what you can stop doing is you can stop sending command staff to command college. Command college is always 40 hours. Let them do something. You got all these classes that don't contribute to the community, but the community people can't never get the training. But you keep saying that they do. And that's why, you know, I say shit don't roll downhill, because once you protect yourself as a line person, and hey, I didn't get the training. Well, I tell people, if the training don't get what you said, you need to start writing it down. Because once you say, "Oh, this was great training," you're accountable for that now. If you didn't get great training, don't do it. You know, Mark, you was picking at Reed, but we go through officer survival. We go through officer survival. Say, I don't just try to take your gun, because that's easy. I can teach you how to do that. I choke you while I'm taking your gun, because I need to add that stress to you. And you'll see who wasn't paying attention. Because once I start choking you, you ain't got so long for you gonna pass out. Then the weapon retention is mooted, but you weren't paying attention. You was like, "Oh, I can do this. I can take you. Babe. You're a little dude." Okay. You can't take me. You can't breathe, player. I guarantee. Ain't nobody unconscious ever beat me in a fight. And I know how this works, because you're breathing hard and breathing heavy. I ain't even gotta wait the 30 seconds. You got 12 good seconds because you panic and you ain't doing. And I try to make it work. I said, you realize why your uncle and your dad could beat you and your mom, because they kept talking. You gotta talk. If you talk, you keep getting fresh air in your system. But you know what we do? We want to hold out and get the shakes. I'm like, this shit happens all the time. Once I hear you not talking to me when I grab you, I know I got you. And I ain't gonna choke you out. I'm just gonna get you to that point. I'm gonna let you go. Because now that you can breathe, guess what the first thing you're gonna do is human reaction. You're gonna put your hands around your throat because now you can breathe. So you took your hand off your gun. You can't never take your hand off the gun, player. Die with your hand on the gun. Die with it on there. Don't take your hand off. Because now you can breathe, but I'm gonna shoot you anyway. But you weren't paying attention when we was talking, because you thought, "Oh, I got this. Ain't nobody gonna get that close to me." Right? Yes, they will. Joe, is there any time that your officers don't have to walk through people? Do y'all have some kind of protocol, Chicago, where you can avoid walking through crowds, or you got to make everybody stand to the side? People can always get behind you. And if you that,
Yep.
you know, oh, they ain't gonna, you got to always think that somebody trying to kill me. Once you go in with that mindset, you know, you act like you're nervous. Because I'm going to kill everybody. I'm like, Richard Pryor, I ain't going to be almost going to get hurt. And people give you a little space. But, you know, so many of us want to act like we ain't scared because Mark's people, "Oh, you act like you scared." Damn right I'm scared. But guess what? I'm going to take my scary ass home, too. Scared people live longer. In the movies, a scared person always make it to the end. It's the ones who think they got all their shit together who keep dying. What you got, Joe?
They buried and dead.
It's interesting. Well, we can talk about that. But weapons retention is something that really came about in the late 80s. We had, I want to say, at least 6 officers get killed with their own guns because they didn't know how to retain that weapon. That's also when we started changing the hose. At one time, and you can look at the old movies, you'll see the officer with the gun that's got a little strap over it. that
level zero
went out the window when I came on. Level minus. Now we're up to level 3s where it unlocks in, and if you don't have it canted to a certain angle, you can't pull that gun out. That still doesn't mean they can't rip the whole thing off, because that's happened too. I mean, we've got some scenarios where the bad guy just ripped the belt off, but they didn't get the gun out. Which again, the point I'm trying to make is that weapons retention is a major training area, and again, once you come out the academy, they're not training for it anymore. The bad guys are. We got film. The big jail here, we used to be Joliet. We've got film of prisoners practicing. Don't ask me how they got into prison. Practicing taking the Beretta 92F apart. You actually see them reach over the strap pop the release, snatch the barrel off. Got film of it.
Bad guys taught me how to take them apart and how to disarm people from level 3 holsters.
Well, I still maintain that I think you were on that special program from gangbanging to policeman. Anyway, I'm gonna act like I don't hear you. All right, so okay. It's 7:37. Like I said, we're gonna do some more stuff. Oh, you know, we ain't got a time. I don't think we got enough time to get into all this. Let me ask y'all a question. Because I do want to talk about the resolution, but we're gonna do that. We're gonna start off with that next week, though. As a friend, this was somebody hit me. What are your expectations of friends when you help them? And this is the scenario I was given. All right, we're gonna just say for practical purposes that we're all friends. We know that ain't true, but we're gonna act like we're friends for the next 15 minutes, okay? I'm not doing that with Mark. Nope, I'm not doing it with Mark. Nope.
So when Mo moving, Mo said, "Hey fellas, can y'all come over and help me?" We decided to go over and help Mo. Okay, now theoretically we friends, right? We're not gonna take money from Mo, right?
No,
because that just ain't what we do. But what should Mo do? Shouldn't Mo at least offer to buy something to eat or a drink or something?
Mo should feed us and make sure we drink good.
And this was the question about the expectation from your friends, because it's like, you know, we helped the friend do this, and all this MF said was thank you, and that was it. And it's like, well, damn. So what is the realistic expectation when we help friends with something? You know, like I said, because most time friends are gonna ask each other for money. You know, because truth be told, if most of my friends try to give me gas money, unless it was something that was way out of pocket, I ain't gonna take it. Now, if I have to drive my truck back and forth, if they want to fill my tank up, I'm gonna let them. But I would rather than just fill the tank up, not give me money. But what is a realistic expectation from our friends or people? Because sometimes people use us, or we let them use us, and then we walk away mad because you don't want to say, "Yo, motherfucker, you ain't gonna feed us." I mean, even though I'm sure 3 of us would say that the more if he didn't try to feed us. But what is it that people should realistically expect from their friends when they're helping them?
For me, realistically, you know, is levels to this friendship. My close friends, I'm not expecting anything, but I expect you to offer something.
Well, that's why I use the move. If you helping a close friend move, what do you expect?
If we moving, I'm expecting to be fed and maybe a drink, or even if it ain't liquor, some water.
You moving them out. You moving them out of 4-bedroom house into another 4-bedroom house.
All I want is some food and some cold to drink, and that's it.
Mo,
with the hopes that if I decide to move, then they'll return the favor. But I definitely need a meal.
So I'll say this. Might gonna be a little bit long-winded, but if they have favor banked, and what I mean by that is maybe they did something for me one time, you know, and
they ain't did nothing.
They did nothing. Okay.
Did nothing.
Oh, the scenario. I'm changing the scenario. Okay.
Yeah.
They didn't do nothing. Okay.
No. Yeah, this ain't what I looked at. They looked out for you, so you looking back after them. This is the first big favor being asked.
Oh, okay. So I say expectation versus reality. Okay, my expectation would be probably what everybody else here is thinking, and that's okay. If I'm gonna help you move this 4-bedroom house, man, at some point I'm gonna get tired, so I'm gonna take a rest, and I'm probably I need some fuel so I can keep you, help you get this thing done. All right. If that don't come, no, that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, because we're talking 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah, right. So that's gonna be a problem because at some point, because here's the thing. If I leave to go eat and pay for it, I ain't coming back. Ain't coming back. That's it.
Sound all right.
Yeah.
All the friend offered them was some water.
Yeah.
And it was water.
Yeah, that's not your friend.
So reality though, and then in terms of like money and stuff, I'm not looking for money. I'm just looking for grace and gratitude. That's it. Just grace and gratitude.
Joe?
I have to go with A and B.
I know it hurts you to agree with 8 on it.
Yeah. I have to go with Mark and Mo on this one. Please don't repeat this. But yeah, I agree. God, that hurts. God.
Hey, Joe, it's a new year, man. You can do it. It's all right.
Yeah.
Sorry, good brother.
Bah humbug.
And this will be part of our 26 minutes. And you know, but that's what I said. I said, you know, it's crazy that your friend didn't even offer to feed you, because I think that's to me that's the least mandatory minimum thing you should do. Because like I said, I know if I ask some of my friends to do something, whether it's the first time or whether we watching each other's back, a meal to me. It's mandatory.
Yeah.
I say you can try to give them $20, $30. Most times your friends ain't gonna take no money from you, depending on your financial situation. Now, if they know you big balling, even then you probably still ain't one, because part of it is just still fellowshipping. But then you ain't gonna feed me, player. You just gonna give me 2 bottles of water, and that's supposed to be it.
Right.
Really, this what we doing? Because I'm like, shit. To me, that's a friendship killer. Ain't a whole lot of coming, because I don't even want to answer the phone you call me no more. Because you know, the next time you call me, it need to be, yo, man, I know I should have bought something to eat, but I was strapped. I ain't held no money, but hey, I got some money. Let me take you out. If that ain't the next conversation, then the friendship is over with.
That conversation should be had before the truck unloaded.
Facts. And then
how I look at it is, once we get the truck loaded, hey man, I'm gonna stop and get something to eat. So once we get unloaded, we can go and eat, or I'm gonna order pizza. I don't care if it's church's chicken.
Right.
But see, once this truck is unloaded, I need to be eating.
Right.
And I guess they thought it was unspoken, because they thought it would have just been done automatically. I mean, and to me, it's like, yo, you know, what you good with pizza? Or you want a burger? So we're gonna pass a couple of places. Let's stop and get something to eat. But they say, you know, the person never offered. And in this context, does it matter if it's a man or a woman? Not your girl. Well, and I tell you that, because even if it's your girl, she should be feeding you. But if we helping Mark and his girl move, does the scenario change? There's still a mandatory minimum, yes?
Yeah, I would say yeah. Let me say this though before I forget, because the thing is, it appears to me that the decision is between paying 3 men in the truck $400 to move your ass, and paying me and buying me a $30 or less than $30 meal. So yeah, that's a problem, man. So you know, people don't even put it in that perspective, because if I'm your friend, I guess I'm supposed to do it. That's ridiculous. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't mind doing it, but just because here's the thing: even if I ate, even if I'm already full and I worked in 4 hours, I don't even want nothing to eat. My expectation is that you're gonna ask. I'm gonna say no, but just ask. I ain't answer your question, DVP, because I forgot it. So say it again, man.
Even if it's Joe and his wife, then while me and Joe headed to the house, his wife need to be stopping picking up chicken, churches.
Or she should be at the house already making something for us to eat. You know what I'm saying? I mean, something. But like Yolanda said, if a woman asks a favor, to me it don't change. Whoever asking the favor, when me and my play brothers helped move my mom, you know, after we unloaded the first house, we got to the second house. We got to the second house, it was already 3 pizzas waiting on us. And if anybody could have got away with it, it would have been my mama, because my friends knew I was gonna take care of them. But my mama took care of that. She didn't even ask us nothing. She had 3 pizzas. She had Kool-Aid for me. She had some Heinekens for him, because she know that's what he like to drink. Because my thing is, you know, you always find out what your people like doing casual conversation, and then you just get it. So when they get to the house, it's there. Because whether, you know, some people gonna want to finish everything, then eat. Some people gonna need to eat to refresh doing it. It just depends on how much hard work they do. But Yolanda, I don't think it matters who asks.
Yeah.
And I guess the only difference would be, and I don't even know if it's a difference. I'm gonna ask the fellas again. Does it matter if it's your woman and you had to ask some friends, or does it matter if it's just a woman who just needs some men to help her? Does that make a difference?
Nope.
For me, it don't make a difference. It could be if it's a woman, it could be a single woman, it could be a struggling woman. She better figure out how to feed me.
Yeah, I just think food is just an easy answer.
Look, that Mark is on fire tonight. So,
but we can tell it's a new year. Joe got a whole new attitude.
Hey, Mark, he got a little talent. He just waiting 26 minutes to go by. That's all. So he said, wait for these 26 minutes to be up. But yeah, Yolanda, I don't think it matters. So I said, I help random women, and because I know all of them didn't have the money to, like, as I say, I know what a mover costs. A mover charging you out the ass. So I'm saving you some money. You got to do something for me other than look cute and thank me and her. Because if I'm being honest, even the promise of sex, that's not enough. That's not enough.
First, ass last.
Because what you gonna do? You gonna sleep with all of us? No, that's
we running the train to move.
And no, that's like, nah. We already tired, so that ain't gonna be the right answer. But yeah, and it was crazy when I saw that. I was like, damn, because I don't think I got no friends who would do that. Hell, my friends, even we go to somebody's house for they cook out or whatever, we stand and try, we trying to help clean up or something. He's like, nah, I got this. We're gonna still pick up some stuff. You can do the rest, but we're gonna help with the big. So we ain't gonna just leave it. You all folk. So I just, it's crazy. It's crazy going into even now how loosely we use the word friend, and we use it with people who treat us like shit.
Or let me ask.
So I got a question. I got a question, something similar to that. So tell me this: if you got a friend and you and your friend you talk, you like, hey man, you can stop by anytime. Them stop by your house. You stop by anytime, man. Ain't no problem. Does that friend have to call you before they stop by your house?
Yeah,
I'm gonna let you answer that because I ain't never made that statement and I never will.
Here, let me help you. This is not the dewdrop in. My kids got a call.
Your kids got a call.
Look, I damn near got a call myself. That's how bad I am.
So for the sake of this conversation, if, and I know y'all say y'all don't, but if you told your friend that you can come by, no problem, would they have to call? Let's just say you actually told them, ain't no problem, you can stop by whenever. Do they have to call before they come?
Let me go. Since y'all know I won't even answer the phone, and if you don't text me, I'm not answering the door. If you don't call and get, so which means you got to text me first to say, can you come over so we can have it? Because I need to know why you want to come over. Because no, but I ain't making that statement. Listen, I got a key to my mama's house. I still call before I go over there. The only somebody who could. When I was single, even when I had a key to somebody else, I still called before I went over, just because I don't want you to forget that I got a key. I don't want to pull none of that shaggy. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
I'm different because if I tell you,
we know you're different.
If I tell you stop by, that means you got to be close to me. You got to be on that A1 friend level. And if I say you can stop by anytime, then I have no problem with you. You don't have to call, just pull up.
Yeah, Mark, you ain't got that many friends in the first place, so you're right. You should have an open door policy. So I understand.
I got your address, Joe.
I got yours too. So, but look, I know for a fact that you can't get out of a car quick. So by the time you get out the car,
somebody with some sense. Let me talk to somebody with some sense. Hey, what you think, Mo?
Wait, here's one thing. Hey, Mo, do you have any more questions, man? Because I thought you had one more for me.
Oh, man, you kidding me? I can't remember that. I got my answer to this, and I'm about to goddamn forget it because you interrupted me. All right. So I differentiate between call and notify. Those are two different things for me.
Oh yeah.
Call is you saying you come. Calling is saying I'm gonna be over there. Notifying is saying, hey, I'm gonna be over there at a particular time. So you let me know, right? And so for both of them, yeah, you got it right, DVP. Is both of them is thumbs down, but with the notification, I have a little bit more grace for you because then I can call you back and say I'm not there or I'm not gonna be there or whatever. So I gotta differentiate. I differentiate it like that.
Bro, ain't nobody gonna ever tell me they coming to my shit. No, that's just not gonna happen. No. My mama don't tell me she coming over. No, you're not gonna tell. Because once you tell me, there's no need to respond. I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you. You can come over, you can sit your ass in that parking lot all day long. All day long.
Damn, y'all terrible.
Hey, what I had my roommate. Once he got his house and he came back to our house. I ain't even cutting the lights off like I ain't. I walked by the one I peeped out, saw I was in ringing the doorbell, and I kept watching TV. He called. That when I had the house on. He called. He said, "I know you see me." And I was thinking to myself, and you live with me. You know I don't play this drop-in shit. No, and you can't call me and say, "Hey, I'm on my way." I don't even want to hear you say, "Oh, I was in the neighborhood," because I don't stay in no neighborhood. If you out this way, it's because you was trying to come out this way. If it wasn't a pre-plan, we're not having that shit. We not having that shit.
So what if they just happen to be out that way?
Ain't no happen to be. If you happen to be out there where you was out here trying to commit a crime, I don't stay by shit. So you just don't happen to be out this way.
Stay. So let's just say, I go look at jobs and shit. I be like, damn, I'm about DVP house. Hey man, you gonna be like, no, boy, keep your ass moving.
Right, Carl. First of all, I ain't gonna answer the phone. So see that part right there.
You answered my call yesterday too.
I don't answer the phone. I don't know why y'all don't believe me. I don't know why y'all don't. Because if I'm asleep, guess what I'm not. I ain't one of the people who gonna wake up and be like, yeah, I was sleeping. Why would I wake up to tell you I'm sleeping? To me, that's stupid. Because I know in an emergency who you ain't gonna call, so it can't be no emergency. That's just one man's logic. So, Now, if I stayed somewhere in Atlanta off the bus line, say, hey, I'm in your neighborhood. What's up with you? What you doing? Oh yeah, I'm finna stop by. Well, stop. You can sit out in the parking lot, cut that grass while you there. The thing open.
Find some new friends. Y'all ain't real friends.
See, and Joe, I told when I get ready to come to Chicago, I'm gonna call Joe before I leave to make sure Joe know that I'm coming. I ain't gonna pop up in Chicago and be like, yo, Joe, guess what? I just happen to be in Chicago. That's some bullshit. You don't happen to be in Chicago when you live in Atlanta. You don't happen to be in Chicago. It's gotta be, yo, Mo, you'll never believe where I am, man. I'm in fucking Arizona. What you doing? Can I come over? I'm gonna be like, you in Arizona what? Mark, you don't somebody who be like, come on over.
Hey Joe, don't you got a wrought iron gate in front of your door, man? People can't even get through, right?
He got security like the Obama house.
He protected by high-speed stainless steel.
He got one snapped onto that apron.
True.
So yeah, but I just that when I saw that, I was like, that's just crazy because I got people who I've helped. Some of them didn't have a lot of money, but they still say, hey man, I ain't got no whole lot of money, but if you want to, when we grab you a burger or something, and all I do, I appreciate the offer.
The offer.
Yeah, and that's it. Like I say, for the 4-5 hours, ain't no offering with the 4-5 hours. The only offer is, what do you want to eat? Not, I only got this much, because I know how much I saved you. Because if you call these moving companies, you're going to spend at least this much. So if I can't get a meal, and we talking 4-5 hours, so we know we're doing some heavy lifting, and Lord forbid if you ask me to bring my tools, I got to put some shit together.
Church's chicken and a pepper, and I'm good. That's all I need.
And that's the thing. A lot of times it don't cost, especially for friends, it don't cost a lot. You can get something, but then you ain't even offering nothing. But hey, I appreciate you, man. If you ever need something, let me know. No, I need to eat like now, like right now. Oh, well, I don't get paid to Friday.
Get me something to eat. Somebody that don't sound right.
I don't get paid to Friday. Well, you shouldn't have moved to Saturday. I'm gonna burn this shit up. We taking this shit back.
Hey, you want this refrigerator upstairs? I need a piece of chicken or something, man. I can't right now. I can't move. So
man, we finna pawn this. We finna pawn some of this stuff you got. You not leaving. Hey, Toba look like it'll get me a Big Mac meal. So shit, we finna get something. Hey, it's 7:56. I'm proud. I know this is the only show I'm gonna get to say this. I'm proud of y'all. Y'all behave for the most part. So we may have to get Bojack back, because when Bojack here, y'all at least act right. I'm impressed. Yolanda, I want you to come on, because maybe I'm sure if a woman is here, they're gonna be on their best behavior. I'm sure. So Yolanda, we need to talk so we can Okay, Joe ain't gonna be here when you come.
Yolanda, 3 of these things belong together. Look at the background of 3 of these things, and then look at the other one, and who's the bad person? Just pick them out. Just pick them out, Yolanda.
We already know. He got hell on his shoulder.
Hold on, but one got a clock that don't never move. One got Galactus behind him, the planet eater.
You can't see nothing. You ain't got nothing, brother.
Anyway.
And one is in an isolation cell because that door don't never open. I'm gonna say what I said. That's an isolation cell. You know, I was watching.
He's got the light hitting him at the right angle, like he's an angel.
Right.
Yeah,
and, you know, Joe, I was watching Homeland, and then I looked at Mo background. I was like,
watch Stranger Things. You'll know where he's at.
Yeah, I'm like, damn. You know, I'm thinking because you ever notice even when he disappeared, that door don't never open. So I'm just thinking he locked in. But hey, I ain't here to say
he got a padded room. It's a padded room.
Hey, I know you're talking from the DVP. I know you're talking from the fireside right now, but it's all good, man. You're on the fireside right now.
Mo in that padded room, and he been there so long, that's how he forget his train of thoughts. He just sit in that room all day. He just keep running through his mind.
Hey, I'm distracted by that clock. That damn thing don't move, man.
I tell you, it's 5 o'clock somewhere the way he can drink. No.
5 o'clock all the time.
Hold on, did they just have a shooting? Did they just have a shooting in Minneapolis?
No, that was earlier today, and it's bad. It's bad.
Damn. And ain't it crazy how we almost numb to this? Like we expect it every week now, and ain't nothing gonna be done. But that's a whole nother show. It's 7:58. So, Mark, it's the beginning of the year. What you got for us for our New Year's? Happy New Year.
Hey man, new year, new me. Nah, I'm just fuck all that.
Yeah, we know that ain't gonna change.
Let's just keep living a great life to the best of our ability. And shout out to Bojack for coming in and telling about what he's doing. And as a people, as a race, and as a community, let's step it up. Let's get back to the next generation so we can continue to be better. That's it. See y'all next week.
Mo, what you got for me?
Oh man, I'm looking forward to 2026 with you brothers, and you know, we out here trying to do some good, and hopefully this year I'm planning for us to have more impact than we did last year.
Okay, so before we let you go, Mo, can you open that door? We just inquire around what that door to open.
That's a closet.
And we just want the door. We just want to open. We just want to open.
In that closet.
Oh, see, hey,
look at that light,
light out there?
Oh,
that's
shit.
A hallway. It's a see.
That ain't no hallway.
It's
a light that goes to a different portal.
Yep. Stranger Things. I told you.
Stranger Things, like J Mo said. That's Stranger Things.
Joe, what you got, Joe Mo?
I had to ask you all to take a look at something I just posted about an hour ago on my page. Take a read of it and let me know what you think. But yeah, there was a shooting in Minnesota where ICE agents killed a woman, and now they can't. Allegedly, they don't know who the ICE agent is. So this is. Go ahead.
He was probably one of them January 6th releasees, but that's all
I believe. You know, that's the thing. See but again, read what I wrote, and we'll have a discussion next week, and we'll go at it
next week. All right.
That's why we supposed to be watching that show too. Did y'all watch the show? That's what we supposed to be talking about.
I watched Dave Chappelle. I watched it.
Okay, I didn't get a chance. All right, y'all know what it is. It's Random Thoughts with DVP. I'm your host, DVP. Me and my partners, we was here having fun doing what we do. We're gonna be back next week, and we're gonna keep having fun. We're gonna make this educational. I'm gonna figure out how to work this thing. We're gonna engage in some more uncomfortable conversations because people been giving me a lot of stuff that we should talk about and they want us to delve into. We're gonna have some guests so y'all can ask questions. Like I said, if y'all got questions, comments, concerns, inbox one of us. If you got our phone number, text one of us. You can call Mark because he like talking to people. Yeah, but the rest of us, you either got to text or inbox because we don't want to talk to you. Mark said y'all can come out and talk anytime y'all feel like it because he cool with y'all like that. I already drunk my drink, so y'all know what it is. Peace, popcorn, and chicken grease, and we out.
We out.
Next week. Peace.
Oh man, come on, man. I thought you were gonna play the music.